Misumi Makoto is sent to another realm by the deity Tsukuyami to become a hero. Makoto is sent to the wasteland inhabited by non-humans and creatures by the goddess of the other world, who only gives him the ability to understand all languages. Tsukuyomi joins the conversation to discuss Japan. Modern living has limited Makoto's powers. In the New World, however, he is extremely strong and free to do as he pleases. Makoto saves a young orc called Imma from a two-headed wolf monster after 3 days of exploring the wasteland, demonstrating his increased strength. After she brings him to her village, Makoto begins to study magic. Makoto takes the decision to kill Shen, a giant dragon that uses fog to create illusions. Shen traps Makoto in the guise of a happy memory. He is drawn to his memories of Japan after browsing through his other memories. Makoto is taken aback when Shen offers to become his familiar on the condition that he signs a contract with him, shattering the illusion. Shen morphs into a curvy samurai female, eagerly anticipating Makoto's next move. Makoto is teleported to the parallel reality where she lives on a daily basis. Despite the fact that it now resembles the Japanese countryside, Makoto informs the orc that he defeated Shen, who invites them to live in her dimension, which is now perfect for farming. Shen continues to reminisce about Makoto on the television. She does, however, insist that they find out how to construct a television for her to preserve their memories on. Before traveling to Japan, Tsukuyomi told Makoto that his parents were born on this planet. As a result, he decides to find out more about them. She comes with a wounded dwarf, telling them that their dimension is under attack by Black Disaster, a spider cursed with an insatiable appetite who devours everything. Makoto manages to totally destroy the spider, but it regenerates and Makoto falls. Shen attempts to intervene, but the spider states that the severe cruelty has fulfilled its masochistic craving, and she wants to stay with Makoto permanently. Shen advises that the spider make a bargain with Makoto so that she can turn into a human while she is unconscious, and Makoto accepts Shen to perform the ceremony. Makoto awakens to find a new, similarly busted female servant who gives him the creeps. Makoto renames Shen Tomoe, and the spider Mio, in response to Shen's request for a personal name. Makoto finds that while he was unconscious, Tomoe and Mio went recruiting, and his hamlet is now overrun with orcs, dwarves, missing lizards, and humanoid spiders. When Makoto returns to the real world, he is attacked by a human colony. Makoto's magical aura is so strong that humans mistake him for an evil lord, according to Tomoe. Makoto spends months studying human language and has the dwarves make items to deflect his aura. They disguise themselves as merchants and join the Adventurers Guild in the human village. Due to the repressed aura, Tomoe and Mio made records by being 4 times as powerful as the next strongest adventurers, whilst Makoto was classified at level 1, weaker than a child. Tomoe learns that a dragon she knew, Lancer, was killed by an adventurer named Sophia Bulga. Commodity prices are exceptionally high, according to Makoto, and individuals have begun to follow them. Tomoe is getting ready to protect their wagon from a nocturnal attack. While out shopping, a young girl approaches Makoto and Mio. Rinon claims that her sister Tao has gone missing, and Makoto deduces from the thief's memories that their group is holding her hostage. As a result, Mio and Tomoe are sent to save her. Toa's captor, Ace, the current strongest adventurer, is located by Mio and Tomoe, and Makoto is concerned that she looks like a girl he met in Japan named Hasegawa Tao. Mills, the thief's hidden commander, tells them that a demon lord has just reached the city and has a bounty on his head, completely oblivious to the fact that the demon lord is Makoto. Rinon flees and informs the robbers that Makoto's wagon had been discovered with valuable fruit, but that it has already been sold. Tao's debts must be paid, and the crooks demand that she steal Makoto's gold. Rinon believes that she won't be able to take Makoto after his compassion. Mio and Tomoe compete to see who can defeat Mills and thereby overcome the most opponents. His thugs were wreaking havoc on a section of the city to make the world believe Zetsua was killed by the monster horde. Tomoe tampers with everyone's memories. Rinon encounters Tao, who, with the exception of her hair color, is remarkably identical to Hasegawa. Makoto congratulates Mio and Tomoe on successfully rescuing Tao, but sends them back to the wasteland to atone for the massacre of the whole human village. After Setsua's guild was destroyed, Makoto had to re-register in Sieg, the next closest town. While Makoto and the other adventurers travel to Sieg, Tomoe is tricked into practicing alone in the wilderness. Tao collects vital components from a variety of species, including rare, ruby-eyed ants that Mio and Makoto annihilate. 3 adventurers, Luisia, an elf archer, Hazel, a human alchemist, and Renina, a dwarf priest knight, are thrilled to be re-registered in Siege. Makoto makes a decision to sell the ruby eyes to a Rembrandt trading firm. On the other hand, Tao tells him that the Rembrandt trading firm has a bad record. When Emma returns to his community, he reports on their success. The orcs are making a citadel, the dwarves are erecting structures, the mist lizards are clearing farmland, and the humanoid spiders are settling in the highlands. Since Tomoe has been absent for a long time, Makoto is anxious. Makoto is given merchant's clothing by the dwarves to help him cover his aura even more. However, his magic is too powerful, and the garment is ruined. Makoto understands that demi-plane magical elements are more powerful than those created on Earth. Makoto pays for a visit to Rembrandt and finds the management difficult to work with. The manager, Patrick Rembrandt, is dismissive until he notices the ruby eyes and apologizes. He informs us that the eyeballs produce ambrosia, which he claims is a remedy for his witch-cursed wife and daughters. Makoto goes to register as a merchant and breezes through the written exam, which is little more than basic middle school math. The ruby ants are required to be collected in the second test, but he follows the guidelines that permits him to swap goods of comparable value. Makoto returns to the demi-plane, where he plans to build a hidden portal to fool traveling merchants into believing the demi-plane is a hidden city where they may trade for demi-plane products and then return home, thus establishing a market for demi-plane goods. Mio is hooked on his childhood recollections of anime and children's shows. When Makoto refuses to sleep with one of them and instead chooses to sleep alone, Tomoe and Mio get bewildered and decide to plan a seduction tactic. Hazel says yes. Makoto enlists Hazel's help in creating the ambrosia. When one adventurer observes Makoto, he gathers as many adventurers as possible to prevent Patrick from doing whatever he is doing with Makoto. Patrick plans to assassinate the witch doctor who cursed his family. Hazel is used to make ambrosia. Makoto has complete control over Patrick's wife, Lisa, who has transformed into a monster, and Patrick is able to efficiently administer the ambrosia. Patrick's daughters are also treated with this product. Makoto returns to Tomoe and Mio, but they are attacked by the adventurer Lime Lat and his army of aliens. Lime maintains that all he wanted was a sleeping spell cast on Lisa and her daughters as punishment for Patrick's refusal to hire adventurers who irritated him. Many of them perished, later on tasks that were too risky for them, and he had no clue why the witch doctor cursed them into monsters after they defeated all 200 opponents. Lime apologizes to Patrick, who decides to let him live, and his adventurers come to a close. After seeing in Lime's memories that he sends his salary to an orphanage where he grew up, Tomoe presents him with a katana fashioned by the dwarves and hires him to spy for her. Meanwhile, Patrick mulls over how to respond to Makoto's intention to open a competitive commercial farm, despite his gratitude to Makoto. Makoto's tribe warriors become sad, and Makoto realizes that it is his fault since he completely overwhelms them during training, leading them to lose confidence. He also understands that various species do not train at the same time. As a result, he holds weekly tournaments to motivate them to better themselves and each other. Makoto, Mio, and Tomoe are charged with training a successor for Lime Lat. Makoto has chosen Tao, despite Tomoe's anxiety that Tao looks like a Japanese girl. She fears Makoto regrets his previous life. Tao and her crew go through a tough training routine before being sent to face a nest of 100 ape monsters, showing that they are the most proficient adventuring team. Makoto decides to purchase ambrosia blooms, which are the flowers that ruby ants devour and which give their eyes their value. He also decides to rent a location from Patrick for his store, who realizes Makoto prefers to rent rather than purchase, since purchasing would attract the attention of the Seagate Kingdom, which he does not desire. Patrick pledges to help Makoto locate a job in a neutral city with no ties to any kingdom. The community organizes a celebration to commemorate Makoto's trade firm opening. They've found ambrosia blooms in the wild, but they've decided not to take any because they're guided by elves. Mio and Tomoe witnessed Makoto regularly dying during archery practice. Tomoe deduces that Makoto inadvertently blends with the environment and dies for a split second, giving Tomoe and Mio the idea that he committed suicide. As a result, his mana has reached godlike proportions. If this continues, the goddess who exiled him to the wasteland will see him as a rival and seek to assassinate him. When Makoto returns to the human realm and is approached by a prostitute, Mio and Tomoe are furious and seize him. Makoto is afraid to escape via a portal. The dwarves produce more powerful but small-scale oppressive equipment. After Mio apologizes for her and Tomoe's actions, Makoto invites her to help him negotiate with the elves. Other adventurers, including the prostitute, appeared to steal the flower, which prompted the elves to attack. Makoto is introduced to Nil Jastori and other elderly people. The forest barrier is dissolving, and Adono, Nil Jastori's kid, is furious. Makoto meets Mondo, the Ares master, a fearsome fighter. Mio believes Mondo is possessed and overhears Adano and an unknown person discussing demons via telepathy. Adano is murdered for mixing with demons. Spirit flees Mando's body and swallows his existence. Makoto identifies the creature and catches it as a lich. The lich claims that he accidentally became a lich while striving to become a grant, a person who, like a god, may freely travel between worlds. Tomoe admits that he was mistaken. Grants aren't human travelers, rather they're regular individuals who happen to travel and therefore earn the label of grant. The lich joyfully accepts Tomoe's offer to make a contract with Makoto and teach him magic, recognizing that he's squandered his entire life on an unattainable goal. The lich is transformed from a skeleton to a lovely young man after forming a deal. A strange blast in the village knocks Tomoe unconscious. Makoto and Lich have the capacity to restore health to individuals who have been injured. Makoto notices that the explosion has blown open the doorway to the outside world. Makoto's memory fragment of the prostitute indicates that she and her companions attempted to steal magical things. When guards arrive, one of Makoto's magic rings exploded, killing Tomoe's kid and an orc. In retribution, Makoto hunts the prostitute and kills her viciously. Since memory seeing is one of Tomoe's skills, Makoto learns through Lich, now known as Shiki, that he was able to glimpse the prostitute's memories after the funerals. Makoto has obstacles built to keep any adventurer who comes to the False Plate to trade far away from the town. Makoto pays a visit to Patrick, who has established Makoto's shop in the neutral town of Rothgard Academy. Makoto wants to go to the school in order to learn more about the universe, the goddess, and humanity. He only takes Shiki with him because he expects to be gone for a long time, and he gives Mio and Tomoe some new memories as a gift. As they begin to transfer, the goddess notices Makoto and interrupts his teleportation, sending him to a distant battlefield where demon troops remove 2 of his fingers. They claim to have joined the demon army in order to eradicate humanity from the planet. Makoto destroys Sophia's legendary sword by eliminating all of Mitsurugi's mana-suppressing armor and overpowering him with his magic. Makoto vanishes, leaving Mitsurugi and Sophia alive and threatening revenge. Patrick discovers that the demon army was defeated by a powerful wizard. He had no clue it was Makoto, though. Shiki believes the goddess used Makoto to wipe off the army and is watching them. Mio gets angry when Kamoi refers to Makoto as Daddy, and Makoto's mana from the discarded ring is used to create another fragment named Kamoi. Makoto ultimately opens a shop, which is a huge success, and finds that after he teleported away, the demon and human armies did a lot of damage to each other. In addition, 2 additional goddess-summoned heroes will fight in that conflict. Makoto determines that his future looks bright, when the neighborhood hosts a feast to honor his business. However, another disagreement between Mio and Tomoe interrupts the feast, leading Makoto to reevaluate his decision. He now feels that his immediate future will be incredibly troublesome, and that ends the story. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you.